I spent all of Sunday today finishing my audiobook. That was half the book still needed to be recorded. I've done it all now. I've lost the entire day to it. But sometimes it's worth these little sacrifices, really, just to get things over the line. I still have other audiobooks to sort of record, but it's nice to get this one finished. Now, the problem I've got at the moment is where to distribute and how to distribute. It's getting a bit annoying, in all honesty, because I've got audiobooks on Amazon already through Audible, but the rules for all of them are they're very favouring them rather than you. So Amazon for Audible have options. You can do an exclusive deal with them. It's all 7-year commitments, which I think is mad. So you get 40% if you're exclusive with them. That's just with Amazon, Audible, and iTunes, like it says here. If you want to distribute elsewhere as well, so use a different supplier or go direct to other companies, that you will only get 25%. So effectively, they're trying to force you to go exclusive with them, and we'll give you more money. It's still not enough, is it? Ridiculous. But 25% is even taking more of the biscuit, isn't it? It's like ridiculous at that point. So what I've been doing is a little bit of looking around, because I've used Findaway Voices in the past. It seems to be Spotify have took ownership of them. They've I don't know when that happened. So obviously I was using them before they were Spotify. But before, I'm pretty sure they were 10%. They took 10%. Now they're taking 20%, it says here. Because I think they just are Spotify. You will be paid 80% of all royalty receipts, and Spotify will be paid a distribution fee equal to 20%. So that 80% is what you're getting based off of the... So for instance, if I didn't use ACX and distribute Audible direct myself, and I use these for everything just to be lazy, that would still be the 25% there that's over here. But I would only get 80% of that 25%, and then Spotify would take 20%. That ain't going to happen. I can do it here myself. It's quite easy. But you've got that the whole way on this thing. Again, Google Books is easy to publish to. I just got this up here. You go through it. It's a bit of a hassle, but it'll take maybe half an hour now. I don't know what it's going to take me. It does get annoying, but once you're done, you're done. So again, it looks like Google potentially pay 50%, which is nice, of the listing costs. So if Google would take 50%, I'd get 50%. But again, if I do it through here, through Findaway Voices, they will take 20% of that 50%. So if it was selling for £10, I'd get £4 and Spotify would take £1. Whereas if I go Google directly, I'd get £5 instead of 4. It doesn't make sense. I might as well, the way I'm looking at it is, I'll probably go non-exclusive, because I don't want to be tied to somewhere. If anything happens at Audible or anything, or people boycott it, or whatever they do, it's like I'm stuck. I think I'd rather just take a little less, because it's not great anyway. Then I will probably distribute to Apple myself, because apparently you can get 40% through Apple. I'm not seeing it. I don't know where it is. Oh, Apple Books 45%. So if I could just use them to distribute to Apple, and they'll take 10% of it. It's still better than what Amazon are offering. But I will probably just do it myself. So Apple Books are offering 45%, whereas Amazon really are not being fair at all. So the way I'm looking at it, it's just showing people really the hassle you have to go through, even after you've recorded an audiobook, is distribution and think of it. I'll probably go 25% with a non-exclusive deal to Audible, and that'll still go on Amazon and Audible. I will probably go direct to Apple and distribute my own book myself. And I'll probably go to Google myself and distribute myself. Then I'll probably use Findaway Voices, which is owned by Spotify, to distribute everywhere else, because I can't bother to do Barnes & Nobles, Audiobooks.com, all these other ones. But it's good to, I think, to have that, to be recognised really around there. And at that point, I'm not, because I don't know them, anything I get from them for me is a bonus. So it's like whatever I get is a bonus. So when you get a payment from them, it's like whatever it is nice. That's how I'm seeing it. But if it's sold on Spotify, it looks like you get all the royalties. I'm not really sure how even Spotify even bloody works. That's kind of where I'm at the minute. But so anyway, I finished the audiobook finally. The good thing about it all is, and this is the good thing about creative work, the ebook and the paperback, I consider the book. You know, that's all the work I put in. It took me a huge, heavy time of period to write that book. It's original, you know. Everything I wrote is me. The audiobook, I see slightly different. Of course, it embodies all that. I just see it as the time it took me to narrate it. I've just been narrating it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A few hours on Friday, a few hours on Saturday, nothing too heavy. And then today I've lost whole of Sunday. So for 3 days' work, you're getting paid for it, and that's the way I'm looking at it. So it's a nice bonus. Although they're taking the piss really with the royalties they're taking from me. For me, I treat it a bit different to my paperback and ebook. I just think they're the physical books. I'm a bit more protective of them. This is me reading it. But of course, there's an audience for it. And I think it's important that, we distribute where people can find entertainment. So what I've done now, I've got a little clip that I recorded. I've just saved. And I'll show that. It's a clip from my new book, Heal Your Mind to Free Your Soul. Time is in short supply. So we reduce the time and potential to be in beautiful moments for every moment spent in the wrong situations. Contemplate that for a moment, because people hardly ever profoundly consider the consequence of their decisions. Time is precious, but far too often it's taken for granted, like it doesn't matter. I'll deal with something later. Firstly, as time runs out, there may not be a later. And secondly, even if we are fortunate enough to make it to later, how much time do we have left? It's imperative to live in the moment, make decisions now, and live life with a focus on happiness rather than running away from potential. Think of life as a long piece of string. The moment we are born, that string begins the process of burning. We are all unique, so the length of the string is different for each of us. None of us knows how long it is or how long we have left. So make the most of time and don't give it up so freely to others seeking to exploit us rather than add to our happiness and fulfillment. So this is Findaway Voices website. I was just trying to show it really so people can see where to visit. If you've got an audiobook you want to distribute, you want to look at other distributors, they've been reliable for me, and it's just everyone's going to charge a fee anyway. It's just the way it is. Everyone wants a cut of something. So it's worth it. If you really don't want to put in the effort to do everything manually and you just want to go one place, I would say just go Findaway Voices, because they can distribute to Amazon anyway. It's just you're going to take cuts. You're going to lose money. You're going to hemorrhage money really to Spotify. So I think personally the best thing to do for anyone distributing an audiobook, in my opinion, is go directly to Amazon. If you just want to stay there, stay there. If you want to be exclusive, it's just simpler, easy peasy. It's not going to be rocket science to do this. If you want a wider target audience, I say do it manually yourself on Amazon, Apple, and Google, and then use Findaway Voices to distribute to everyone else. You can select what distributors you want to use. If you don't trust some, or you're not happy with the royalties that you would gain from them, you can cut them ones out and say that's not good enough to me. I don't want to be part of that one. So it's actually quite good. It's a bit sad how low the royalties are, though. I think personally, it's not fair really, but everyone wants to cut off something nowadays. But that's our options really.